Hello students, I hope in my last lecture you have already followed applications of Gauss theorem in which we reached up to field intensity due to parallel plates of charge. And now with the remaining applications, let us begin with field intensity due to a thin charged spherical shell. This is one, and second is the field intensity due to a solid sphere, non-conducting solid sphere of charge. With this, we will come to the end of the chapter of Gauss theorem. So students, be ready, and now let us begin with electric field intensity due to a thin charged spherical shell. So here it is. E due to a thin charged spherical shell. This is the sphere, positive charge present on the surface of this shell. This is of radius capital R, and let us take a point P outside the shell. As you know, the flux comes out like this, outwards, radially outwards. So taking this point P, we can assume one spherical concentric Gaussian surface. The flux passes through this Gaussian surface like this, and at the point P you take a small area ds in which you can draw the direction of field intensity as vector E and the unit vector n cap drawn normal to the area. What is the angle? Theta equal to 0 degree. So first case, outside the shell, we are finding the field intensity outside the shell. So flux through ds is d phi e equal to e ds cos 0. This is e ds. Therefore, for whole surface, phi equal to surface integral you take for the whole sphere eds, that is es. Also from Gauss law, phi equal to q upon epsilon naught, you already know. Therefore equating both, what is S? The surface area of the sphere, 4 pi r square. This is equal to q by epsilon naught. E into 4 pi r square equal to q upon epsilon naught, or therefore you get E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square. And this is the formula I hope you remember. This is the formula for the field intensity due to a point charge. So you see this shell, spherical shell, is acting as if whole of the charge is concentrated at the center, and this is acting like a point charge. So this is for the point outside the shell. Second case, you can take, now you bring this point P to the surface. So on the surface, if you take, then R small becomes equal to capital R. So therefore E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. You substitute for small r. This is q upon capital R square. This formula becomes like this. Okay. So this is for this case on the surface. And now you enter inside the shell. So inside the shell, as you know, no charge is present inside the shell. Charge only resides on the surface of the shell. Since Q equal to 0, therefore E equal to 0. Field is always 0 inside a charged conducting spherical shell. So this is the case for the shell. I hope students you will have followed. And now we come to the case of non-conducting solid sphere. But before that, I can ask one question. Suppose you have to draw a graph showing the variation of electric field intensity with distance, then how will you draw? So this is one question also which comes in the exams, for board exams for the students. So you can see variation of E with small r. You can say, you can draw this sphere like this. This is the radius r. This y-axis, this axis denotes field intensity E, and this axis, x-axis, denotes the distance small r. So you see, you draw this line like this. You see, for r, distance means less than capital R, means we come inside the shell, for a point inside the shell. So what will be there? E is 0. So you draw a thick line over here. E is 0. On the surface, if you come, means small r is equal to capital R, and I told you E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon capital R square. So that you draw like this. This is for capital R square, and for the point outside, means R greater than capital R. So E varies with 1 upon R square. So you draw like this. So E varies with 1 upon R square. So this is the graph for variation of E with R. Now students, we can come to the application. E due to a non-conducting solid sphere. E due to a solid sphere. Non-conducting solid sphere. So this is the sphere having volume charge density rho. Volume charge density means charge per unit volume, Q upon 4 by 3 pi r cube. This is rho, and this is just like the charge is filled in this sphere. As you can take like a cork ball, no, that is a solid sphere. So, and whatever piece you take small pieces of this. Suppose you take small pieces of a cork ball, but the volume charge density will remain the same, no? So you take a point outside this. This is of course a radius capital R. Once again you take point P and you draw one concentric Gaussian sphere, imaginary Gaussian sphere through which the flux passes like this, no? And you take one elementary area ds. This is small r, no? Small r, first case, small r is greater than capital R at a point outside the sphere. So for elementary surface area ds, you draw the field vector and n cap. Once again, so d phi e, the flux through this small area ds, this is how much? EDS cos 0. So this is EDS. Therefore, for whole sphere, once again, I hope you have remembered the steps now. Phi equal to surface integral for the whole sphere. This is EDS. So it turns out to be ES. Since phi E equal to Q upon epsilon naught from Gauss law. Therefore, ES equal to Q upon epsilon naught, or you can take E into what is S? surface area 4 pi r small, no, r square q upon epsilon naught, or you can say E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square. What do you get? E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square. This is the formula, means at a point outside the sphere, you see the field varies with inversely with r square. So this is the first case. And suppose I come to the surface of the given sphere. So second case, on the sphere you take small r equal to capital R. Therefore E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q upon capital R square. Now in terms of volume charge density, you can express this formula for E. So q equal to how much? Rho into 4 by 3 pi r cube, or you can say this is rho into 4 by 3 pi r cube, and r square is there in the denominator already. So 4 pi cancels out, 1 r square cancels out, or E equal to rho into capital R upon 3 epsilon naught. This is the formula for field intensity in case of the point lies on the surface of the sphere. So students, these are the two cases, and now we come to one case which is different and important also, and that is third case. At a point inside, means r small is less than capital R. So you take, first of all, this was your sphere, and if I say take the point inside, suppose this is P now, this was the center, this is your R. You taking this point P, you have to draw one sphere now. This is small r, and this was capital R, no? So this small r is smaller than capital R. So this small sphere now, this will have a different amount of charge q dash, and the given sphere had the different amount of charge q now. Okay, but the volume charge density, since rho, the volume charge density remains the same. So q upon 4 by 3 pi r cube, capital R cube, this is equal to q dash upon 4 by 3 pi small r cube. This is same. From this you can find, or q dash equal to q into r cube small upon capital R cube. This relation you have got, this you can utilize in the derivation. Just now I will show you how to utilize. So now taking this point P, inside you have to take one elementary area ds. You draw the field vector and unit vector n cap. So what you will say for this ds, flux through ds, that is d phi equal to how much? E ds cos 0. Therefore phi equal to, for whole sphere, this is integral E ds means Es, and phi E is equal to now q dash upon epsilon naught from Gauss law. No? Now you have to write q dash for this smaller sphere. Therefore E into 4 pi r square, this is equal to q dash upon epsilon naught. So E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q dash upon r square. This is the formula now. E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q dash upon r square. So what you do, substitute the value of q dash, this one which I told you. Now for q dash you will write q into r cube upon r cube, no? R square is already there, so this cancels out. So E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q into R small upon R cube. But what is Q? What is Q? Rho into this thing, no? Now, this is the formula. Now, in terms of volume charge density, we get the final form of the formula, or E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. And what is Q? Rho into 4 pi R cube upon 3. This is there, into R small upon R cube capital. So this you cancel out, R cube capital 4 pi, and what is the final form you getting? Rho R upon 3 epsilon naught. Rho into small r, remember, rho into small r. So this is the final form for the field intensity at a point inside this solid sphere of charge. So students, this is the application in case of a solid sphere, and you can draw. Now if you can see, you can draw the graph also for variation of field with distance in case of the point lying outside, or in case of the point which is lying inside, how does the field vary. So I hope students you have followed these applications, and with this we come to the end of this chapter of Gauss theorem. And one more thing before ending with the topics, one more thing I want to tell you. Good question. How will you prove Coulomb's law from Gauss law? How will you prove Coulomb's law from Gauss law? This is, if it comes in the exams, this is a 2 marks weightage question. So how will you prove Coulomb's law now from Gauss law? So you take a point charge Q. As you know, this charge gives out flux, means electric lines of force in all directions, means the lines of force emerge out if I take it as a positive charge. Now you take a point P, suppose. This is the point P. It says the flux lines are coming in all directions. And if I want to trap these lines, then what shape of a surface can I assume? I can assume, surely, I can assume one sphere in which you can see the flux lines are coming out. So I take one area, elementary area ds once again. What is the direction of field intensity? This is the electric field vector, and this is n cap. Theta is 0, you can see. So for ds, flux which is coming out will be how much? E ds cos 0, that is E ds. Therefore, phi, if I talk about the whole sphere, surface integral you take of E ds, this turns out to be Es. And suppose this radius is smaller of this sphere. Also, phi is equal to Q upon epsilon naught. This is from Gauss law. No? Therefore, E into S means 4 pi r square. This is equal to Q upon epsilon naught. So E equal to, once again you see, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon r square. This is the field at this point P. Now, what is my question? We have to prove Coulomb's law from Gauss law. We have used Gauss law. We have started from Gauss law, and now we are ending in Coulomb's law ultimately. You see, now at point P, suppose I place one charge Q naught. So what is the force acting on this test charge, suppose Q naught, at this point P? At this point P, you can see what is the field? This is the field. So in presence of this field, the force which is acting on Q naught, therefore F equal to Q naught E. Surely. Hence, What do you get? Final form. Q into Q naught upon R square. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q into Q naught upon R square, and this is Coulomb's law. So this is how you prove Coulomb's law from Gauss law. So students, I hope you have followed my lectures of today, and we have ended with this chapter Gauss theorem, and now you can take some numericals on Gauss theorems, which I shall discuss in my next lecture. And please follow whatever dictation I am giving. I suppose whatever I am teaching, I am presenting myself in a very easy form and easy language. In physics, as you know, is already considered to be a very critical subject, but my effort is to present all the derivations and concepts in front of you all students in a very easy and understandable language, so that all students can enjoy this, because we are here to bring physics for a common man. Thank you.